this residence. This is 9!
Oh my god. Oh no.
And welcome to the Dr. DC podcast.
Keep going. I want to see how long it takes before this accent completely disintegrates.
My name is Producer Richard.
Okay.
And Doctor from myself.
And Doctor from myself.
That's right. I'll be the one asking questions here.
My name is Producer Richard and Doctor from myself.
It's a quico. Fuck. It's episode 9.
It's episode 9.
That's right.
How are you feeling? How you doing?
I'm all right.
You've had a couple of eggs, nog.
Nice. I've had few eggs nogged.
You've had a couple of eggs, nog.
Yeah.
And you've had a couple of Caesars by this point.
Yeah. I'm feeling all right. I think I can't tell if I'm like overheating because it's just warm in here or because of the sickness.
Might be both.
Yeah.
It is warm in here though.
Yeah.
I'm a couple of rum and eggnogs in.
Yeah.
I did have a whole Caesar.
Yeah.
And then I had a regular eggnog.
And a full shit.
And I just did take a shit last episode.
So you're cleaned out and ready to go.
So, well, I wouldn't say cleaned out.
Jesus.
More where that came from.
Yeah, it's true. How many days since the last time?
Forgive me, Father.
For I've
shit. It's been 9 days since my last.
I mean, truly. Conflussional.
Oh, that's good. Conflussional? That's good.
Well,
don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
I appreciate you.
That's good. Yeah, I fucking love you.
Yeah,
man.
fucking. Yeah. This is why we do this.
Yeah.
This year, like every year, we have a challenge.
Sure.
This one involves dice.
Yeah.
I wish it was physical.
It's final DiceMas.
Yeah. It certainly will be the last time we use dice.
Well, listen, my dice is good.
It's
Listen,
good of it.
Open up Safari on your phone.
Don't. Why don't you go get Internet Explorer? Make sure to get fucking what I assume is Flash and get that running.
To rolldice.org.
The worst fucking thing. I assume you just looked up roll dice and that's the first thing that came up.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So we roll the dice and we deal. We roll the dice and
doctor across from us.
No, hold on. We roll the dice and we don't judge. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, those are so funny.
Yeah.
They're really good. Yeah.
I like the parody ones where it's like saying really fucked up things.
Really?
Yeah.
Are those parody ones?
I think.
Oh, okay.
There's some that are really fucked up where it's like I fucked your boyfriend to like.
I've just been taking them all at face value.
Oh, yeah. I think those ones are fake.
God, I hope they are.
Also, did you have an elephant move in?
I mean, how dare you?
More of just because the speed and loudness.
Yeah, well. Okay. I've opened my browser-based dice app.
The best way you could have done this.
This is your roll.
Yes. Just let it
It's
happen.
going. Okay, this is 6. You rolled a 6. What is 6
on
our dice?
That's a good question. Let's find out. What was 6? Oh, it's Brainiac's Gauntlet.
Oh, okay, but you rolled it, so you get to pick the category. This is where we got to go back and forth, continually naming things in a category.
That's right.
And the person that messes up has to finish their drink?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I've got about half of a rum and eggnog here. You've got how much of a Caesar there? How you doing?
All of it.
Okay, great. Let's do it. Pick a category.
I'm going to do something easy. It's going to be computer programming terms.
Sure.
Start with something easy like a language. I'll do Python.
C+.
Is it C++?
There's not just a single plus version?
I think it's just C++.
Son of a bitch. I was getting ready to put you in your place.
You could question it if you want.
Yeah, I want to take this to arbitration.
I mean, that means if you're wrong, then you get to drink 2.
I mean, made up new rule, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm feeling confident.
Okay. Wow, who is this guy?
So let's just look up, is C plus a
How does it take you this long to write?
computer language. No, C++.
That's like, I'm pretty sure it's C++.
Well, here, I'm going to throw this out to the room.
Okay.
It says, no, C++ is not a computer programming language, but C++ is. C++ is sometimes used as an abbreviation for C++.
Fuck that. No way. That doesn't count.
So if anything, I'm like more inside.
No.
So,
We both know that that's not what you meant.
pretty sure that means I'm great.
You
but
drink fucking 2 drinks.
Fine, I'm going to finish this one. I'll pour another. Fuck. God damn it.
You fucking bitch.
Fuck.
Come at me. All right.
Both times, this Brainiacs thing has barely been a game.
Because it's like one person says something and the other person goes, fuck. Is this something? All right. Well, now that we've gone through the gauntlet once again, it's best not to question that. You mean just because we cater everything to the things that we're good at, and when it's not specifically targeted at us, we look like we're dumb? Or the thing that you said that you don't want to do a podcast that makes you look like you don't know something? All right. Well, back into the questions. This is episode 9, which means we have a whole list of questions that we're going to get up to. I think, are all these ones that I can answer? He says he's almost done, but it's hard to really say. Ooh, yeah. This is not one that I want to answer. I'll leave that to the doctor. But this year, like every year prior, we've got 12 episodes that we're recording in a single day. This is DocMas episode number 9. And Doctor has to finish his entire drink in this episode as well. I won't make you do it all right now.
Got another rum and eggnog, baby.
Yeah, you do have to finish that by the end of this episode.
That's fine.
It's a rum and eggnog. He'll do it. I do like that you were rushing, but you still put nutmeg in it.
I'm doing it right. Of all people, I thought you would appreciate that.
No, I do, but it is funny.
That in the service of you having to vamp a bit more, I made my drink just this much nicer.
Yeah, which is great. It doesn't look like you even have fish food in there at all.
Listen, hey, are you like getting into mixology? Do you not have fresh basil available?
Don't worry.
In a pinch, you can use a bunch of dried basil flakes.
And it's the same.
And it looks nice.
Yeah, it looks great and tastes better. With that, why don't we get into the questions? We're starting on threads.
Threads.
From Fingerstripes 13.
Nice.
Wish that number was a little higher. Do you think
not nice? Don't. No, you don't. It sounds like I'm saying nice about the 13.
That's kind of
now.
fucked of you, dude.
Maybe a different podcast you should move to.
Do you think Identity Crisis has any validity or value? Because as much as I want to enjoy the overall story of the ethics of magically lobotomizing people, I really struggle to get past the treatment of Sue Dibney.
There's almost nothing in storytelling where you can throw the baby out with the bathwater, I think. So the issues with Identity Crisis are well known. We've talked about them a lot,
Well, nuggets do not hold up.
No, they don't. The treatment of Sue Dibney is awful. It's so exploitative, and there's no real reason for it to be her. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of that stuff is a problem. The stuff about Jean Loring being like, I want the atom back so bad I'll fucking kill Sue, I guess.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Like, a bunch of that stuff just doesn't work. The Dr. Light thing, it is interesting they lobotomized it as a way to sort of like retroactively explain, like, how did a character that start fighting the Justice League end up being easily handled by the Teen Titans? There are things that are interesting in there. And the story that comes out about them, they did it to Batman one time and blah, 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 about trust and responsibility and this secret within the superhero community. That shit is interesting. doesn't mean that the how we got there is good. It doesn't mean that that's the only way to have gotten there either.
No.
Like, why did Dr. Light have to be a rapist? He could have been a cannibal. He could have been, you know, like, you could just insert another thing, you know what I mean? And that, I also don't necessarily mean that in the sense of, like, you know what's off limits for storytelling? This specific crime. Because, you know, like, murder's also bad, you know. Like,
that being said, fucking,
but
I got it out of your system more.
This the Identity Crisis is not more.
Yeah, I know, but I just mean in general.
Yeah. However, there is I think we have to look at, like, what is the purpose of the thing, you know, like, how are we in a story that treats all of its female characters like fucking nothing? Maybe that is a poor choice of crime to center it on, you know? It's not really about, you know, there are no real female voices in it. There are no real, you know, the ramifications of that crime itself are minimal. You know, like, it's about all these, like, men being like, oh, this man did this thing and men reacted this way to, you know, like, it's
not great.
Like, it's the context of it that makes it, that adds a layer of problematic to it as well, I think. But the broader idea of it, I still think has value and is valid. Like, we're fighting people that are getting worse and worse. Our families are on the line. Like, do we, if they learn our identities, do we wipe that out of their memories? Most people would say, like, yeah. And then you go, like, well, if we can wipe that out of their memories, maybe we could just, like, wipe just a little bit of how much they enjoy killing or robbing.
Sure.
Or, you know, and you go, like, is that, you know, then they could rejoin society or whatever. And you go, like, well, it's well intentioned, but is that good? That's an interesting story still.
Yeah.
So those things are still true even when the other stuff is problematic. I you know, and I think it's fine to read it that way. There's lots of valuable stuff in, you know, the Killing Joke. I wouldn't throw the whole of Killing Joke out with the bathwater either. You know what I mean? There's good stuff in Killing Joke, but does that mean I think everything in Killing Joke is above reproach? Not really.
Definitely not.
You know, so I think it's totally fine. Like, I don't think you got to feel guilty about being like, man, Identity Crisis is really onto something, while also acknowledging, as you do, that it, you know, it fucked up in other areas, you know?
Yeah, the mishandling of some of this stuff.
Totally, you know?
All right. Well, with that, let's go from Threads to the Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram. Quam questions and answer them.
Fuck, I can't not laugh. From Delgado.
The
Andrew.
moment you stop laughing, I'll drop the bit.
In your opinion, in a living Mars, a la Young Justice, a good world-building opportunity and a way to differentiate Martian Manhunter from Superman, or does it remove the pathos from John's story? I have to go pee.
Okay. You know, and as the rules state, the episode keeps going despite washroom breaks. So, yeah, is a living Mars an interesting idea, or does it undermine the whole last Martian element of Martian Manhunter? So, yeah, like you say in the question, on Young Justice, there's a discovery that, like, no, Mars still exists. There's a civilization there. They're still there. The accident that brought Martian Manhunter to Earth is, you know, like, there wasn't it. They weren't destroyed, basically, essentially. They still have their psychic weakness to fire, which was true of Martians even before Hronmir's curse and stuff. What I find interesting in Young Justice is, even in a Young Justice has a weirdly realistic view of space travel. Like, the Justice League use zeta beams and boom tubes a lot to travel interstellar, because that brings you there almost instantaneously. But in that season of Young Justice where they go to Mars, it takes them months because they're flying in a regular spaceship. There's something kind of, it's sort of fascinating about that, because it does mean that even though Martians are out there, it doesn't mean that they could just, like, they don't just pop over for a cup of sugar like your neighbor would, right? So they do have an interesting approach to McGann and Jean still being largely alone on Earth, and it's because they have this more realistic view of space travel. I mean, ironically, I would say the reason not to have a living Mars for Martian Manhunter in the comics nowadays let's leave the white Martians aside or whatever. More or less, there aren't that many green Martians. It's like Jean, it's Malfaak. That's about it, The reason not to bring back many more of them, I think, is that we get a lot of Kryptonians now. Like Zod, for whatever Zod is, he has his own planet and he has his own family. Then there's Superman and Kara and Paige and John and Connor and, then the extended family who are not necessarily Kryptonian. But we also have Osul-Ra and Othel-Ra, right? The Philosian kids from Warworld that they've adopted. We actually have like a lot of Kryptonians. And I just think we shouldn't do both. Like the Krypton, there's all sorts of living Kryptonians in the bottle city of Kandor. And they're in a bottle city, but they're still there. We know the Philosians exist. There are Daxamites. There are that's not the same as your immediate family, but there are relatives out there. The Martians really didn't have anyone else other than humans in that kind of apex predator kind of species. So I actually think it's better for there not to be a Mars colony. There shouldn't just be Martians a bunch of Martians living somewhere, I think. Because part of the thing with Superman was that he's launched from his planet to save his specific life, but also theoretically to, preserve some piece of Krypton. And so the success of that is that a little bit more of Krypton lives with him, through his kids or these accidental circumstances or whatever, but sort of under his umbrella, under his parentage and that Krypton lives. And that's actually kind of nice. Jean didn't leave Mars to protect Mars. He left by accident while Mars burned. He's just what's left. And so, yeah, we get McGann. There's every once in a while, there's another Martian here. Or there's some white Martians that are bad guys. But for the most part, I would leave Mars alone because it's better that way. The Saturnians, we get a little bit, but, and I kind of like Jem, son of Saturn, but I do think it sort of dilutes Jean a little bit.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. Jean should be more alone than Clark is really where I'm going with this.
Do you think if you used a Zeta beam to get to Pholosia, you could call it a Philosian tube?
That's good. Oh my God.
Yeah, it went straight up the Philosian tube.
Yeah, superb. Yeah. The Philosian tube. That's really good.
It's the fucking dorkiest dirty joke you could make.
That's cool. Tell that to your girlfriend.
Yeah, she'll get it.
Yeah, she'll be like, so the Philosian tube.
Because how there's a Zeta beam and it takes.
Yeah, so Philosians are ancient Kryptonians. They're stuck on Warworld. Mongol, and then Superman had to go Gladiator Superman. Obviously, had to fight the Mongol in Warworld.
All right, now put that aside.
Yeah. We'll pin that for a moment. Now, Osul-Ra and Othel-Ra are Philosians.
You get how it's funny?
I mean, that's incredible. God, I would pay money to watch that.
There's the problem is that she would ask.
Yeah, she'd want all the details. And you'd be like, I'm not Reed.
I don't like doing this.
I don't know this.
But also,
I know enough for the joke, but not for explaining.
But this isn't going to make you want me.
Maybe it would.
Yeah, maybe it would.
Maybe you'd get to the end of that and she'd be like, get on up in these Philosian tubes.
You got the juices Philosian.
Come on. Come on. You got the juices Philosian. That's great. Oh, that is so good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Man.
Okay, let's leave Instagram and head on over to Reddit.
Where everyone's nice, no one's ever mean.
That's right. From Golden Ganji, who asks, could you ever see Red Hood coming out as bisexual? I could see him as a sexual omnivore like Peacemaker from the new HBO series. I also love the term sexual omnivore.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
That's a great term.
Yeah. I like that better than some of the real terms in the real world.
Yes.
Yeah, I do like sexual omnivore. That's good. I know that in the comics, at different times with different creative teams. We've explored Jason having a thing with Barbara or with Starfire or with Artemis or with,
Raven.
Jason.
Not the comics, but
Jason and Raven?
Wasn't that in Titan?
Did did they have a little thing?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I don't really remember that.
Yeah, because remember he takes her into the rafters where he lived for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We do kind of explore different pairings for Jason, but I think the reason that there isn't an obvious, the closest I think you get is Artemis.
Yeah.
The Amazon. But really, I think the reason none of them really stick, and this is my take on it, and admittedly, this is a take that I don't have the right vocabulary for.
Sure.
It's just a feeling I have. I feel like Jason might be better suited as like an ace character.
Oh, sure.
I don't know that I see Jason as like
a romantic partner to somebody,
as a sexual partner,
sure, a sexual partner. Yeah,
people.
Yeah,
I don't really get that vibe from him. I don't know that he's necessarily aromantic, but I think he's asexual.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe.
And I'm saying that with very little
basis for it. Yeah.
Well, I would say very little knowledge of what that means, but the vibe I get from him is like, I don't know that I ever look at Jason and be like, do you know who he should like there are characters that have like sexual energy.
Sure.
And I never get that out of Jason.
No.
In any context, even when they make him like kiss another guy, I go like, really? I'm not buying it, and it's not that I'm not buying it in the way where it's like, these are women, but Jason should be with a dude or something like that. I just don't think it's in him.
Yeah.
I think he's more like Connor Hawke. I would put Jason in the ace camp, I think. Sure. That's my sort of hot take on Jason Todd. Is I think he's asexual.
Fair.
What about you? Any
I don't
thoughts
really have a preference for that, but I think that makes sense to me. Yeah.
And honestly, if that wasn't the case, I would push so much harder to have Bruce be bisexual,
sure,
than Jason.
Sure. I don't know if I see that, but sure.
I kind of see it.
Yeah.
Bruce has a lot of like weird male relationships that I think are only weird because he's not admitting it to himself.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
And again, I don't really feel that with Jason.
You don't watch interstellar tentacle species fuck and not feel some kind of way.
Exactly. It should have been Tentacle Miss.
Yeah.
We should have done that this year.
Wait, what?
What
does that mean? Yeah,
Hente Miss.
Each episode, we have a different number of tentacled creatures fucking.
Yes.
Starts with snakes.
Yeah.
And then
Sorry, what you're proposing here is that a snake is a skull and one tentacle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
How many... Wait, hang on. Is a starfish a 5-tentacled animal to you?
Yeah, unless there's another creature that's closer to a squid.
So is anything with 4 legs 4-tentacled, or is it tentacle?
Only if the feet come down to like a point.
So like a turtle, because they're kind of like fin sort of things. Is that 4 tentacles?
Yeah, I'd need to look at the biology there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, now let's invoke biology.
Yeah.
As you know, class, a snake is a skull and 1 tentacle.
That's right. I don't see how that's wrong. I'm not hearing a definitive reason why it's not true.
Debate me.
Yeah.
You sitting at that table. A snake is a skull and 1 tentacle. Prove me wrong.
Yeah. In small brackets, eels are the same.
You do one of those ones where people are sat around the outside. They have to race in to debate about
it. Weirdly, race always comes into mind, but don't know.
Oh.
All right, next question comes from the Doc Scored.
Oh, last Doc scored. I gave you my docs, but the very next scored, you doxed it away.
This year, to save me from scored, I'll dox you something scored docs.
Not that everything is about Sabrina Carpenter,
but if it's gonna be.
But I saw her performing last Christmas.
Oh, with
Chapel Roan.
That's part of that special.
Which is okay. Well, I saw that, and that's great. And I just got to reiterate: bag fumble of the goddamn year goes to Barry Cohen.
Oh, what a fucking idiot.
Bag fumble of the year.
I mean, that guy looks like he was like stung by 1,000 bees in his face. I can't imagine he would find anybody better.
You don't get to be the human like speed bag.
Yes.
and then there's that Irish guy on TikTok. I don't know if
I love him.
He's so funny.
The long hair.
That guy who's like, I can't do the voice, but he had a thing where he was like, this is why Irish men can't go to America. We get too confident. Over here, our moms tell us we aren't shite.
I did see that. Yeah. I also, did you see his Thanksgiving one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because we have nothing to be thankful for.
I love that guy so much.
Yeah. We only celebrate days that we were fucked. That's why we drink every day.
Yeah. His take on Barry Keoghan is great. Yeah.
So good. Yeah. I also like him being like, that's not how you spell names. This is how you spell names. It's like the craziest fucking I do love him. All right. From Drago the Black Rose, who asks, do you like your fruit room temperature? Oh, your fruit room temperature.
No, do you like your fruit room temperature?
Or refrigerator cold?
I mean, who eats fruit at room temperature?
My girlfriend eats bananas, I think, that temperature, and oranges.
Here's my thing. I think it's come up before, maybe on the double. I have a real texture problem with fruit.
I have a huge problem with that, yeah.
And I can't eat things even when they're ripe. They have to be like severely underripe. Like the firmness of fruit.
Sure.
That's what I need. Any kind of give in fruit, I can't. It becomes like a real like visceral texture problem for me. A grape, if a grape's not like a perfect hard marble, I won't eat it. Like, but that's also true of like pears. Bananas are a real problem for me. I got to eat them on the green side of yellow.
Yeah, I don't like
because
bananas.
they get too mushy.
Cantaloupe,
strawberries, cantaloupe, everything. I've got a real texture problem with fruit. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why. I know in my head that having like a dent or a bruise or being a little mealy doesn't mean you're rotten, but my body goes absolutely not. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So for me, part of that would be keeping them in the fridge to keep them in the good zone longer.
Sure.
And also just colder,
crisper.
harder, crisper. Yeah. I would definitely go refrigerated. Yeah.
Sure. I think I'm largely on the same page as that. Like, I don't feel that way about strawberries or raspberries.
Especially raspberries. They got to be fucking hard off the bush.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
I hate
My only exception is, like, you go the other way, make them a puree. I'll eat a puree.
Sure, yeah. I don't like a soft apple, that's for sure.
Oh, God.
Like a Red and Delicious, like at room temperature, is disgusting.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah, I can't do that.
They get so mealy.
Yeah. That's the thing I don't like.
Yeah.
I'll take like a Granny Smith, like out of a fridge.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that. I'm definitely a fridge person. I think I don't like bananas because of the texture.
Yeah.
It's too cummy.
Sorry, banana is too cummy?
The more that they like soften, oh yeah.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't know.
I mean, you know what the texture is.
No, I just mean I haven't eaten a banana in that state.
Oh, sure.
I don't know what I would compare the cum to.
Yeah. It gets weirdly salty, dehydrating even.
Jesus Christ.
But it's I think I can do a peach pretty soft.
Yeah, I could eat a peach for hours.
Yeah, especially if it's filled with something.
Oh my God.
But I need a pear to be. Oh, you know what? You probably like those Chinese pears then, hey, the brown ones.
No, I don't really like the brown ones. I like the white yellow. Like, is that a Chinese apple or?
Oh,
Chinese
sure,
pear?
yeah.
I like those ones a lot, and I like a Basque. Is it a bot? No, Anjou. I like Anjou pears.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, is that like a pear that like beats the shit out of bad guys and like is a detective?
That's Bosch.
Oh, okay.
You could have gone with Basque, like a reptilian bounty hunter pear.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Or, but yes, that's also Bosch.
Yeah.
I think is what you were thinking of. Yeah.
Or does it go like, do Misa want to eat that? Bosque Nas.
Oh
yeah. But no, I think we're both on the fridge.
That's how I eat a peach.
Nice. Not really enjoyable for anybody, I think.
No, but it's just how I do it.
Yeah. Well, I can't teach a dog new tricks.
Can't teach a dog.
Yeah, can't teach a dog.
Fun fact, you can't teach any dog a new trick.
No, you get one trick and that's it.
That's it.
So make it a one
You
that's
definitely
helpful.
can't teach them a new one.
No.
It has to be an existing trick.
Yeah. One of the is that a trick that
It
like
doesn't matter if the dog knows it. He'll know if you made it up.
that's true.
You
So
can't
is
teach
that a
him a
trick that
new
you
trick.
know or that dogs
No, just
know?
existing.
Okay.
He just needs to exist.
Good to know. All right. Well, that was the last question.
That's right.
We'd love to hear from you, residents. You can reach out to us on our various social media platforms.
Dr. DC podcast, wherever you find us.
Or at Dr.
Sorry,
DC.
I'm just finishing this drink. before the
At
episode
Dr.
ends.
DC is where you usually find us. Also, we have Patreon that you can subscribe.
That's right. Patreon.com/Dr. DC. 3 levels. They all give you access to the Doc Score. The higher levels give you bonus episodes, bonus series, and it all helps to support us.
That's right. And if you like what we do here, you might like what we do over on our other podcast.
Ghostfacers, a Supernatural rewatch. We go through every single episode of the CW Supernatural. It's a grand old time. Go check it out.
All right. That's it for this week.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao.
The superheroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.